Alrighty, y'all. So, welcome back. It's been a little bit. It's been, I don't know, like a month since I posted a video. Sorry about that. I did have plans on posting videos, just been quite a bit busy still taking care of stuff after moving and whatnot around the house. But now we're basically finished up with that. So, let's go ahead and go through my chest day, what I've currently been working on, and it's actually developed into quite a thing. I have a real heavy chest day, which is what we're going to look at here. So basically, the structure here is two warm up sets, 5 reps apiece. Then we're going to go ahead and we move into 3 rep sets, and then it goes into 315, which currently is for 3 singles. This upcoming week, it'll go to shooting for a double, and then a triple the week after. And then once I can triple 315, that'll become a standard triple set, and then I'll have another set afterwards into which now it's going to be 320 for a single, and then 325 for a single. And as the weeks go on, we're going to push up to 365 for a single, and then once we can get there, we'll work on 2 singles, then 3 singles, and then a triple. And that's my progression in the bench press. And then after I do either like my top single set or my top, yeah, after the top singles, we go into a back down set, which currently is 225 and then 135. And those are just for not quite AMRAPs, but close to failure, like 1 or 2 left. Um, and then we go ahead and jump into our accessory movements. So all of the accessory stuff is going to be 2 or 3 warm up sets, followed by 3 or 4 straight sets with a back down set, or it'll be a pyramiding up over 8 sets to a top set total, but for the same amount of reps. So if I start at 10 reps, it's 10 reps for every set as the weight just moves up. And then we reach that failure due to weight, and we can't do 10 reps anymore. For example, here on the chest fly machine, we're doing 10 reps for 8 sets, and each set it just gets a plate heavier. So I just click another little plate on the selector sizer, and we just keep moving up. So I like doing this because it pushes a lot of blood in, and on these light sets, I can really think about squeezing the muscle. Not necessarily holding the squeeze, but like really that mind muscle connection to getting it engaged. So that's kind of like my theory behind working these sets like this. I've been back into this style of training now for just about a month. So that last video, like I said, we're coming up on the last session with our trainer, and I was redesigning a new training block, which is a 3-on, 1-off. It kind of mimics our old block a little bit with structure, but it has more sets, as well as the workout selection has changed quite a bit because now I have multiple machines and stuff available to me, and we're not just stuck in the home gym. Um, so, but the basic structure is still a heavy leg day. The heavy leg day is going to have, our squats on it, leg press, and then some accessory work. It finishes off with like weighted crunches and some back extensions. Then we move into a light chest day, which is a bunch of volume stuff, like dumbbell work. Because I think the heaviest thing we're doing on that day is machine flat press and then incline dumbbells, but it's still not like anywhere near a like single to a triple. All of these sets are in a 8 rep range. So and then everything else afterwards is in high volume like this, just pushing as much blood as we can into that muscle, working towards that hypertrophy side of things. So I can say we've made obviously progress. We're able to 315 for 3 singles. Last video I made, I think my bench was, we had put up a 315 as a like absolute max rep. And then had taken like 3 weeks off from benching heavy like that. And then when I started benching heavy again, I was down at like a. I was basically doing 275 for a double. And then that got comfortable at a triple. And then the single strength was still kind of there to work up to like 300. Um, but then it took the last month or so, to get back to pushing up 315 and now for multiple times. But so after our flies, I added in dumbbell pullovers. I like them a little more than the machine. I get a lot more contraction inside of that like mid front upper lat area. I get a little more in the upper chest as I'm like initially trying to pull over. It feels better on my shoulders to do this than the machine. This is actually working on increasing my range of motion now that I've done this for a couple weeks. My depth is getting better. It's still not the best, but it is getting much better. My goal is to get to where I can tap the dumbbells on the ground again. That's where I used to be able to do them too in my 20s. But obviously, since then, I've gotten a lot stiffer and tighter and just don't have as much mobility as I used to. So we're working on that though. Big thing here though is I've added back in movements that aren't part of the normal, like typical chest day stuff, like the dumbbell pullover. And my reasoning for this is it's going to target things slightly different. And this is more of a functional movement, in my opinion. Like, this is a big stretch. It's a lot of mobility. It's going to, target a little more than the chest, obviously. But I feel like in a long run, this isn't going to build, a large amount of muscle or anything. But it's going to make you stronger stability-wise, is the way I kind of look at this movement and the way I feel about it. So, some people hate it. Some people love it. I will say a long, long time ago when I was doing these all the time, I'd probably had better like upper pec development closer out towards the shoulders because that's where I feel this a lot. So it was like real square coming out towards my front delt. But my range of motion and movement was so much better. And my shoulders also felt better. And one thing I have noticed by doing this is my triceps haven't felt as tight lately either because they're obviously being put into a big stretch in this position. So there's benefits to doing the weird movements. Like, they may not be muscle building per se or strength building per se, but there is benefits to the weird stuff sometimes. But yeah, so then after our light chest day, where it's all accessory work basically, we've got a heavy chest or heavy back day that's got our deadlifts on it. Then we have a day off. Then it's heavy chest day, which is what this day is here. And then we have a light back day, a light leg day, and then, a light leg day, then a light back day, then a rest day, and then the cycle repeats with our heavy leg day. So it's 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off. And on that 8-day cycle, we're hitting everything twice. But again, there's a heavy day and a light day. Our light days consist of mostly just isolated accessory work, and we're not focused on the big compound movement. So that's kind of what I've done. I've noticed too, it's made my joints kind of not so stiff. Definitely elbow wise, it has helped a lot, especially like when you're doing super heavy tricep extensions like we are here. It's going to beat on the elbow some. It is what it is. And I noticed, I did these a little too fast, like a little too explosive, coming from the eccentric into the concentric portion. And my elbows were sore the next day. So I got to slow them down a little bit, control that weight a little more, as per not being explosive with it, but nice slow contractions. But so we obviously go ahead and we're doing a overhead tricep extension here, hitting that big long head of the tricep. Next, we're going to go ahead and move into a tricep extension using the same bar, to then go ahead and focus the short head and the medial head of the tricep. By doing that, we are getting quite a bit ahead. But so with you know, with this was, the last movement of the heavy chest day portion that I ended up recording. After this, I do go do dips and leg lifts, but it was really busy over in that little area, so I did not end up recording it. So this is going to end up being the new style of the videos for a while. I just it's real weird trying to talk to a camera with the gym being full. Like, as you guys can tell, there's people just everywhere on every machine almost the whole time. And this, at this point in time on this day, it was a little like less busy because it was on the weekend. The weekdays are packed. But so I'm trying not to soak up a lot of time in one area really and be too intrusive to the other gym goers. We all pay for the same thing. I'm not entitled and I'm not special by any means just because I want to record something. So I just kind of record my sets and be on my way type of attitude about it for right now. But with that, guys, I am going to start trying to post more often again. And hopefully, I get your following back here. So with that, make sure you're out there working toward your goals, getting your stuff done, and most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.